Hi, I'm Tom.
I'm Matty.
And I'm Lewis.
This is the Wigan Way, Wigan's favourite rugby league podcast.
He'll put you in his trap 'cause he's a union man. He's got it all figured out. He won't care what you think 'cause he's a northern man. He's allowed to speak his mind. His
I've got one for you here while we're just, before we start or anything, while we're just talking. What do you think is the most aesthetically pleasing try we've scored under Pete? Like, not the best try, or the most creative, or the most exciting, or the most important, or anything like that, because those are, we can talk about those all day, and we do. But the one that just looks like the cleanest, where you think, oh, there's no way you're defending that.
It's been a fair few.
It's been some good ones, but I always think there's one away at Huddersfield in the quad season where it's a pretty innocuous try really, but it's a block play left and it goes 9-7-6-1, and there's a cut out pass to Marshall and he just walks in. I feel like them tries are the best where you think you just can't stop that.
Just goes through the motions.
And everybody hits the ball at the right time, and every pass is perfectly weighted, and there's no stop start or anything like that.
I know mine.
Yeah.
2023, Warrington at home, and it's not the block play.
French's try.
It's coming towards the end of the first half, if I remember right. I'm trying to do this from memory here. And we're kicking, it looks like we're kicking the distance, and there's a lot of kick pressure. I know Cassiano was one of them, and someone on the inside, a bit of a lazy pressure. And Smith just dummies the kick, goes through, finds Smithies.
Smithies and Farrell both just dished it early, didn't they?
Yeah, Smithies is dealing with the defender, gives it to Faz, and Faz gets it straight to Wardle, who just shows an extra yard of pace, beats any oncoming defender, draws Duffy and French back on the inside. I just think it was so aesthetically pleasing.
I mean, in terms of passes hitting hands, Marshall's try against KR in that quad season, where it was Junior Mago.
Yeah, the big men wrap
Maybe
around.
wrap around.
But that was against 12 men, so can it count? That was still aesthetically pleasing, wasn't it?
Well, the one that comes to mind for me is Challenge Cup final at Spurs.
Yeah.
We obviously had the first try, which was Harry Smith off back of a Smithies offload. But then, we went in that game 10-6 down at half time, and I think it was just after half time, 41st, 42nd minute or something. They put a nice pound from inside their own half. Latelli shoots out, Smith cuts out the back rower, hits Thornley onto French down the wing, inside field, and field goes over.
That was where they coined the See You Later twins, wasn't it? And they actually called him Jamie Field.
Yeah.
But he started the season on fire and he scored that hat-trick against Leeds.
Yeah.
And it was a whole... He's Electric had just started.
It started at Wakefield in the Cup.
And when we went to Wakefield in the Cup, in that pink kit, and...
that was a nice kit.
And so, it was a nice performance. I don't think it was a nice kit. But the jam in from Latelli on field was obviously because he was the danger man. And we must have seen that in the first half and adjusted, and straight away, cut-out ball, Thornley's got loads of space.
Yeah.
I will say two things about that. What a luxury it is to have Bevan French on wing.
Well, yeah.
And two, I think, do you not remember, we always reference this now, but when you go and try and cut a man out like that, you have to just hold him. You can't let Jay Field back up on inside like that.
Well, it was a great pass from Harry Smith, and a great pass from
was.
Thornley and French, and it was a nice move, that.
Was 2023 what you mentioned? Was that the year Warrington went 8 unbeaten at start, and it was the whole
When they won the league in
to
April.
get Cassiano back and stuff like that?
Big
Because
Sam Cassiano.
when we ended the streak at the ground, it was quite a low scoring game. I want to admit, it's probably not the most aesthetic, to be fair, but Harry Smith lobs a delicious face ball to Wardle, and Wardle comes steaming onto it and then just goes in untouched. But it's just the timing of the run and the pass is so good for opening up the defence.
Oh, yeah.
That was a mint try. Probably not aesthetic, it didn't go through the hands and stuff, but it was a really good try.
Big Sam Cassiano back next week.
Bucket hats and King or whatever it's called. That pub.
Yeah. What a season that was.
Shall
we get on to it then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Round 3 Super League. Done. Ticked off. Some big results. Some big results this week. And we're going to spend quite a bit of time talking about Wigan. It's called the Battle of the Borough. They won the grand final last year, winning 1-0 in the first game of 2025. 2026 was a different
I
result.
wonder if they make any sounds this year. They had a sign up, didn't they?
They not do a DVD.
They put a sign up on. It was like near a roundabout.
Oh,
With
yeah.
some pegs
You mean
into
near
the
that
ground
one
or whatever.
roundabout?
Leigh won Wigan. I wonder if they got any signs this year.
Yeah.
They won't have any shirts made.
No.
No.
54 points to 0. Last week was good against Hull FC. It was dominant first half.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen as an aggressive, physically... I wouldn't call it a men against boys performance, because that's what it looked like. 10 minutes in, I thought, oh my, this is a domination. I think someone around us during the game said that, like, where's health and safety going to come and get involved? Because it wasn't like one of them.
It was inhumane, I suppose.
Yeah,
But
you know when you play like the amateur side in the Challenge Cup and as you put 100 on or whatever, or 80 odd, and you throw the ball around and they can't deal with it. This was an inhumane bullying of a team.
Yeah.
So the bullying of the borough.
The bullying of the borough.
Oh,
Yeah.
we were the boys of the borough bullying them.
We did bully him.
And
Bully Brad was...
Bully Brad, that's a good nickname.
He missed the Battle of the Borough, didn't he, the last time when it was 1-0.
oh yeah, he started the ACL, wasn't he?
Yeah.
What I think is telling is obviously a lot of talk now on social media about Wigan being back to being grubby and things like that. But
Because they're back to winning.
exactly, when we're going to win, and you know it's the ref's fault, and you know it's grubbiness, and you know the cheating, and
Oh, yeah.
everything's going on. Should we get a little bit more into this inhumane?
Yeah. Listen, I had terrible toothache all weekend. I've had a tooth out, and I still had a better week than all them Leigh fans.
You had a better week than Derek Bowman.
I had a much better week than Derek. Yeah.
Was you treated inhumanely at the dentist?
I wasn't treated inhumanely at all, no. Much like the Leigh fans who also weren't treated inhumanely at all.
Yeah, it's very interesting that you get 5,000 tickets, and when you don't sell them,
You have to give $3,550 back on the day of the game
because people were inhumanely treated.
because people were inhumanely treated last time, and there was no assurances that they weren't be inhumanely treated this time.
But I've never, ever gone to a game and been searched. Except from the Leigh Sports Village.
I know, you have. Not the Leigh Sports Village. Excuse me, the progress with Unity was Wigan Stadium.
There we go, sorry.
That guy had 2 handfuls of your backside
Yeah.
when we were going to the Leigh Sports Village. He was...
Sod.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was doing that for his job. I think he was...
Fancy copping a feel.
Problem is, I knew I was next, and that was the worst thing about it.
You got away lightly compared to what I did.
You must have given him a smile or something, I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Leigh's progress with Wigan Stadium has some very strict searching policies.
No, can't have, because that never happens anywhere
The Wigan
else.
one was inhumane, to be fair. They looked in people's bags and checked if they had any flares, because last time they brought flares. That's inhumane.
How dare they?
Yeah.
And, you know, if you were talking about this,
I
such an
also- yes.
inhumane statement, would you make your inhumane statement 45 minutes before all your fans get there?
No, I just wouldn't make a statement.
Yeah.
They just didn't sell the tickets, did they?
No.
That's what's happened. They just didn't sell the tickets.
Which is fine. Just say that.
And they thought, right, I need to come up with an excuse. What is it? I don't know. I don't know an excuse. Who can I blame? Oh, I'll just blame Chris Rodlinski. Inhumane.
Well, you know what? He did all that, and his team got absolutely smashed. Serendipity. That's what I said.
Serendipity,
Remember
yeah.
that? Serendipity.
I think the jokes write themselves, really. It was half time and I was seeing tweets about inhumane treatment of Leigh players.
Inhumane treatment of leopards or something.
Yeah.
Called the RSPCA.
I just think, just be quiet. Just let the game happen. Shall we go into some of the details of this game?
We should.
Right. So, it was a battering from moment one.
Yeah. But moment 0,
Yeah.
that light show. Did you join in with that?
Oh, that QR code scanning.
What was that?
That ballsed up a bit, didn't it?
You needed a 55-inch plasma screen each to make it work, I'm convinced.
Well,
It didn't work at Saints last week. It didn't work this week again with us.
we give it a go. And we're I wonder what this is. To then realise that they'd set off a lot of fireworks,
Oh, I know, so you couldn't even see it.
so you couldn't see it. And then they were all out of sync anyway.
Do you know why I liked it? It made Latics fans angry. Because they never have anything before a game.
You're a Latics fan. You were
Yeah,
happy
I know.
and angry at it.
Except the fact that I would rather Wigan win the coin toss at this game than Latics stay up this year.
Ooh.
So fan is a strong word.
I've seen you though, your season ticket.
I'll go to the game.
There's a lot of been a lot of investment from clubs into like match day experience, if you want to
You've
call
seen the
it
Warrington
that,
one
haven't
where they do a disco every time they score.
Yeah, well, yeah, I have actually. TV coverage like going fucking dark as anything in that stadium because they just turn the lights off every time.
Every
someone
time they
scores.
score, they turn the lights
Just
off. You can't even
floodlights
see
on.
the ref.
Did you notice, by the way, Kate Bush just started playing it?
No.
Pause in the game. Was it this week or last week?
It was last week that Kate Bush came on when we had a scrum.
There's been some
It
mad
was like a
songs.
knock on or something. They just got dun, 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 dun. Yeah, and it just when it got that hill coming, I was just like, oh, just start playing Kate Bush.
I think I missed the first one and you turned to me and went, was that Kate Bush?
There was scrum music back this year. There's just been some. It's been a mad
Yeah,
start.
It's a bit of mad stuff.
Light shows, fireworks, pre-match entertainment through bands, Elvis impersonators, whatever else.
Elvis,
Like,
yeah, when his hair was
ev-
getting wet, and he had to stop
But
singing.
everybody's, you know what I mean? Like
Good.
doing the.
I know we're
match
taking the
experience
Vic a little
and
bit here, but good. Good.
Did you
Yeah,
see at
no,
Saints what they've got now?
stuff. There you go.
They've got a fella out of the crowd, and he's racing against some pixels on a screen. So the LED advertising boards that got them 0.5 LED, IMG points for their LED screens, they've got a Brewdog beer going across this LED screen, and he has to run 80 metres before the beer catches up to him.
I tell you what, they're dragging that Brewdog sponsorship out as long as they can here, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's worse than the wire flyer who used to pick up washing and...
At least he was real, and it gave Matt Duffy something to do when he was suspended.
I think... I like the entertainment before it. Some of it's a little bit of a fetch. We had the robot at Huddersfield last week.
No, that's just weird.
What was
That
that,
robot.
that guy in the crowd at Wigan?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the shit real guy.
I've not seen him for 12 years. He used to come all the time
Well,
when we were terrible.
We're one step away from Javo.
Javo,
Is that the notorious pitch invaders at the Ashes? How did you become a world famous pitch invader?
you just keep pitching
You're just known for pitching.
Javo 69.
Balls in events.
Imagine his kid saying, Dad, what do you do for work? Well,
Well, watch this game of India versus New Zealand Test match, and then we're going to watch the Ashes Rugby League, and then we're going to watch the FA Cup final, and see if you spot anyone you know.
Cam wants to say, like, when they said, what did you think when he was stood next to you and singing song, and he says, and I thought it was like, just some guy thinking, like, England were putting something on where they just make a wish or something like that. He got fit line up with it.
That fella who claps along and takes his shirt off and gives them away and hypes the crowd up, he used to come to games years and years and years ago. I'm sure Sky pay him to go to games. Anyway, he was at the final of the Olympics ice hockey last week, the biggest game ice hockey ever, you know, USA versus Canada. He's Canadian, and so he's getting the Canadian fans hyped before that game. It didn't work. It worked this time because obviously his involvement was crucial to this performance.
that pre-match energy.
Well, Warrington, and we will get on to analysing the Wigan game in a second, but just last point on this. So, Anne knew someone who was a wedding singer, so professional entertainment business. And I don't know how he ended up doing it, whether he got in touch with why he got in touch with him as the club or whatever. But basically, he was a fake steward, and they called it the singing steward. So he kind of got in, whatever. They got him like a high-vis vest on and whatever.
Is this a match?
And then this was like pre-match or half-time, whatever. And they got him to do. They set it up with him and Wolfie, the mascot. Like they was arguing, pushing each other, whatever, to kind of get all the crowds looking. But he just pulled the microphone out and started singing. And
That's such an
that's-
American.
They do that in America with
Yeah,
dancing, yeah. Well, the security guard just happens to be in the middle of all the cheerleaders.
I think I've seen that video. Yeah.
That's such an American.
They did that at Wigan's end of season dinner last year, Warriors end of season dinner. It was there was the singing waiters.
No.
They were pretending to be really
I
terrible
think we said
waiters.
there was going to be a waiter that was on like a block play.
Oh, that would have been good, yeah. There's a waiter and it turned out to be like some sort of a star centre.
Right, should we actually get into this game now?
We should.
We've done a bit of talking before it. First of all, that first 5 minutes before the score even gets opened was just a battering. We rolled downfield so easy. Time and time and time again. And it's actually quite shocking how easy it was for us to get in that position anyway.
It's quite inhumane, really.
Yes.
If you think about it. It's quite inhumane. I mean, the last thing I said to you before we went up to our seats was, run it straight down the throat. Run it straight down the throat. And then when you get bored of running it straight down the throat, do it a bit more. And then when you think it might be time to pass it out wide, run it down the throat again.
Just do another 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But that was it. We just went straight down the middle, punched holes, time and time again. And that's where the first try comes from. Just getting really, really good field position and letting our guys play off the back of that.
Yeah, we'd been a bit clunky in attack. Just a little bit. Like we had it out the back a couple of times and there'd been a couple of moves that had just sort of stalled. And I think I said to my dad, I'd quite like to see us just take a settler. And we did. Exactly as I said that, Cade Ellis come back on the inside and got tackled on a post. And a few people got, I thought, that might work. And then, lo and behold, next play, we got some bodies in motion. We get people hitting a gorgeous, gorgeous line from Adam Keane.
Yeah, it just steps on the inside.
It's a gorgeous line, this. I mean, it's borderline undefendable.
Well, I'm going to interrupt you a little bit because later on, I will skip forward a little bit. We score a try with Zach Eckersley down at the other end of the field, opposite corner. And I think this is a similar setup. Bevan's ball in hand and Walters, Kieran, Eckersley are all hitting a weak inside shoulder. Eckersley on the edge there. And it's that. Ask Bevan to pick the right man. First time in his senior, stays a little bit too wide to try and deal with Zach Eckersley. And Kieran walks in empty-handed. Untouched, sorry. Moments later, second half, same player, in his senior comes in to deal with Kieran. Kieran just lets it go past him, hits Eckersley, Eckersley walks in untouched again. And it's like you're asking the best player in Super League to just pick the right man. He doesn't have to even really create, he's just pick a pass and if you pick the right one, it's try time.
So nice though, that. When you've got all three of them running flat on. They're not too deep, nice
They're
and
running
flat.
good
Just
lines,
saying, they're running good lines, nice and flat, and it's just right.
And you wouldn't bet against
French,
Walters running
pick one.
over Lockenham and scoring there. You wouldn't bet against
I honestly
Eckersley
think
scoring.
in some of those situations, it doesn't actually matter which man he hits, they're going to score. I think they're both running there. There's just like the defenders are on the heels because there's three of them running at them flat. It doesn't matter who you hit, really. You'll probably end up scoring.
Yeah.
Or it's going to take a very good piece of defence to stop you.
It will. Take
And then we haven't talked about French throwing the double.
Yeah, which he
Do you know
does.
what I mean?
Which he does.
Yeah, yeah.
Which just drags everyone in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Lockie Lamb has to deal with him. Tessie News then coming in to deal with Walters. Kieran and Eckersley. One of them has to be free.
We had one ruled out
One ruled out.
for a forward pass, which was...
Not forward.
Well, I don't know.
Debatable.
It's hard to see on the camera replay, isn't it? It's always impossible to tell on forward passes, but it ruled out an absolutely gorgeous try. Really fantastic. One of the tries of the season, it would have been.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was a shame just for the sheer drama of it all. I mean, it didn't affect the scoreboard. It could have been... They could have come back and given it us now, we'd won easily.
Yeah. Now, I do want to say, this was obviously after this first try. We all sit relatively close together. Matty, you're a few rows in front of us, and it was that look again of just let's keep going at them. We're rolling them so easy. Let's keep going. We have the try.
Couldn't quite believe how easy we were rolling them.
Inhumanely.
We were.
There
There needs to be a counter, actually. I'll set a counter of how many times we say inhumane.
But that's probably the best word for it. It's 10 minutes later. We roll downfield again. Walters gets an offload to Harry Smith. And I want to give Harry Smith some credit here for not panicking and trying to give the ball to Bevan. He's getting tackled, managed to find an offload to Brad O'Neill. And I want to give credit to him again. Brad could very easily try and get to the try line, get tackled, get caught in the play of the ball. Gives it to Partington. Partington takes the tackle, and Brad just jumps in at 9 so he can make the right decision and give it to Bevan. who then crashes over.
Defensive line retreating, and there's Bevan hitting that at decent speed. But when you think about it, really, he shouldn't score there.
No.
He's got no right to finish that off. Yes, it's a nice finish. Yes, they've got tired defenders still making the way back from the initial break. But they've got bodies in the picture there. They've got 3 bodies in the picture. He should not score. The first up contact
Isn't great.
quite frankly horrendous from Robbie Mulhern there. And then he's just too strong. Well, the amount of time, how many times has he got the ball to the ground, French, do you think, there's no way he could do that?
We were discussing this at the time, and it was about Bevan and Jay, but it applies to all of the Wigan lads, especially this season. The absolute wrestle, determination, that 1% to get there. Bevan could just get tackled, and he doesn't. He carries on wrestling and gets the ball down. Tom Forber later on does the same thing and gets the ball down. Field does it multiple times, wrestling over and just almost speeding up into contact, looking for that aggression and bouncing people off. It's not just all fancy skills, is it?
I think we look, and I know it's only 3 rounds in, so you've got to, see how it pans out. But first impressions this season, we look really fit, really conditioned. Eckersley's put kilos on. Pardon me. Junior looks like he's gotten bigger.
I think that's come from maybe not many of our lads playing for England, and the only one that did really was Harry Smith, who plays in the halves anyway.
Maybe.
And we didn't go all the way in the Challenge Cup, so our season didn't have as many games last year. I don't know, really.
I don't know. I think a
Might
lot
be
of it.
People were fit for pre-season.
Well, have you seen Field's comments on BBC Manchester? He basically said Matty Peets challenged us, told us it wasn't good enough last year, and we're now even stricter in training about what we accept, and things that we would have got away with last year were being picked up on and held accountable to.
And just to go on that, I hadn't heard those quotes. They're very nice to read. People might say that, well, why was he letting them go last year? If you're champions, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
As a coach, if your team has won everything, you can't be. I know people say, "Oh, successful coaches will pick them up on anything." Alex Ferguson will pick them on anything. You can't be like that, really.
I listened to the audiobook, Wayne Bennett's audiobook, and he's always talks about letting players get away with a little bit, then you can pull them back in line, and it's that managing of squads. He said, if you're on them all the time, you burn them out.
Yeah, and that's why it's so difficult to go back to back. It's so difficult to win trophies and then win them again the following year. Retaining the trophy is so much harder than winning one.
Yeah. So again, scores 12 points to 0. We should say Adam Kieran converts all of these kicks. I don't think he missed one.
He missed none.
Yeah, he's getting enough practice at the moment. 12 points to 0. Again, we roll downfield. Harry Smith kick from the right-hand side on top of December, who knocks it back. And then we talk about that determination and wrestle to get over the line. Field throws the dummy and beats Chandler, who's still looking for the ball.
Again, though, is it great wrestle or is this just abject defending? Like, you let Junior get the first knock, that's fine. He's enormous. But then they've got bodies in the frame again.
I think it's just wanting it more. Obviously, when you've got the ball, you know what you're going to do as a defender. You're trying to predict whether he's going to throw the pass or whatnot. But they just want it more. I'm going to get there and score. I want that try to my name. Again, we roll downfield. Field bounces around, comes back towards centre field. And one thing I thought Harry Smith added to his game is that backing up a little bit more. Backing up in centre field.
This one was very similar to the one we scored in Vegas just before half time as well then. And that was like our fourth try to make us just go into dreamland. Absolute dreamland. And just Harry Smith backing up down the middle when everyone's eyes are on one of your speedsters. I just think you'll be disappointed, Lamb, with the first up contact there.
Yeah, again.
Someone has to deal with Field straight away.
Well, he wasn't he? He said, it's easy to say when you've got beat 50-odd points to 0, but he was very honest and just said, we got a night to figure out, we got beat in every single area, and obviously that includes effort and contact, physicality. It weren't there for him.
No.
I think it's difficult, isn't it, when you know you're getting a good hiding.
It is.
And it's only 18-0 at this point. You're still well within the game if you score next, but they're getting a hiding. with meters.
It was territory though, wasn't it? Like that.
What did we complete?
That
21 out of 23 first half.
That first half, I don't
Meters.
even remember looking to my left at our own sticks. It was all either midfield or in Leigh's half. And it's tiring that when you're having to take those tough carries off your 10, 15 metres and you know that the defence is lying up ready for just sprint and whack you on. And it's
just wave.
It's a tough day
wave
at the office.
after wave of defence.
Relentless. Yeah, it is. It's relentless.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it worth mentioning that now, that domination, that field position? We looked at the stats. Wigan ran 1,668 metres compared to Leigh's 695. 140% more metres made. That's obscene. Completed sets, we completed 38 out of 46 sets.
You'd be happy with that. And
two of them were Field, who just dropped a ball cold as he was going to score.
And we had one chalked off for a forward pass. So 3 of them were trying to score a try.
Like that's obscene. Leigh completed 21 sets out of 29. It speaks for themselves. It's
just never had the ball really in any sort of decent position because they never rolled anything, and you just knew what was going to happen the whole time. You just knew they were getting battered through the middle, and it looks nice. All these tries look nice, but that's not what kills you. It's having to come up with effort after effort after effort, and keep coming back in defence and keep hitting and keep getting hit. It takes a lot out of you when you're being beaten to basically 2 metres to 1 every time you carry the ball versus every time your opponent carries the ball. That's what saps it out of you, and that's why we see tries on the end of it that look nice.
I was going to add to that, and I noticed this with Lockie Lamb's kicking. A lot of it ended up being that spiral bomb from like 30 metres off their own line, hoping for a field mistake because they couldn't get into a position to kick for control. They were got to the point they were hoping for a mistake.
Yeah. But don't forget that the ref gave us everything.
Yes. Yeah. He gave us that game.
He missed all them tackles. He put all those passes on. Yeah.
Second half, 24.
Shame that. In what other sport would a referee, when it's a match between 2 teams of the same borough, a referee be disrespected because he comes from that borough? Yeah, he comes from Wigan, but so does Leigh. That's in Wigan, and he didn't even support Wigan or Leigh.
Yeah,
he's a football fan who kind of likes Saints a bit.
Yeah.
So that's like saying that a ref from Salford can't ref Manchester United versus Manchester City because he's a Liverpool fan.
It just sounds stupid when you say it.
Which team is he going to favour? Like, honestly, which team is he going to... He might have to toss a coin to decide which team he's going to cheat for. Because it's not like, he comes from Wigan, so he must favour Wigan. Well, no, because Leigh's in Wigan.
Yeah.
And he definitely does come from closer to Leigh than Wigan, like, stadium-wise.
I'm going to say it would be very funny if people started saying, well, we can't have refs from, like, the M62 corridor.
It's too close, you can't risk it. Who's going to ref?
There'd just be... I forgot the name of the Australian one.
James Vella.
Just James Vella doing every game.
No, where's Kendall from? Oh, yeah, he's from Yorkshire as well, isn't he?
Yeah. Can't have it. It's unfair. Right.
If you start saying we can't have refs from Wigan, then it's a pretty short list. Kendall's injured, and we're looking at the others then.
Yeah.
Right, if you play in Huddersfield, you can't... If you play in Huddersfield, you can't have Griffiths or Kendall. If you play in Leeds, you can't have...
You can't have
Grant.
Rush, can you?
You can't have Rush if you play in Huddersfield. Genuinely, if we're playing Huddersfield, there is no ref that we can have.
Yeah. Wow. Right. Second half. Obviously at 24-0. Quite happy that it's dominant. I know, Lewis, I think, did you say your famous line of next try's massive?
I don't think I did this.
I don't even think it was needed this week.
Yeah, I don't think I did this game. But yeah, I think it was the damage had already been done. I think even if Leigh scored the first one, I don't think they were coming back.
No.
Not with the manner, like you say, the first half.
With how much defending they had to do.
Yeah,
But you got to imagine if you're Adrian Lamb, what your talk is. Listen, lads, let's get into this game. Let's make it a bit of a do. If we get one and you roll, and we might get 2, and then you never know. And I don't want to be funny, and I don't want to pick on individuals, but we're 2 minutes 30 into the second half, and the tackle attempt on Patrick Maygo is embarrassing. It's a forward to a forward pass, and Maygo just walks through.
Yeah, but he's just so well done, Big Sexy.
I'll do love
Not
Big
to
Sexy.
rush the double pump from a prop.
Oh, I'm not saying he doesn't do well once he gets through.
He's the world's biggest halfback. Look how he plays that. He's a halfback.
He's the most
It's
sexiest.
brilliant.
He is the world's sexiest halfback. That's a given.
Boom, boom.
It is brilliant just to draw the full back and give it to Smith.
The double pump.
But he shouldn't get through there so
And
easy.
Smith is unselfish.
No, he shouldn't.
Because I was kind of hoping Smith would score because I feel like he deserved. I know he scored on the first half, but I was like, oh, Smith deserved another one there.
Yeah.
But it was unselfish play. I like that.
Did Smith weaponise the ball at this point? Has that happened yet? Weaponise the ball.
Weaponise the ball.
Where he smacked it into Davis's face and sent it.
Oh, I can't remember when that was.
Right at the end of the first half.
Was it?
No, it wasn't
No, it
because it was kicking towards us. He was kicking it towards us. So it was definitely in the second half.
Yeah, it was in front of us. Yeah.
That was absolutely...
bad
That
foul,
was
yeah.
inhumane. That's the first time it's actually been used in the
that
right
was
sense.
actually, it was
That was a savage blow.
it was unfortunate. Completely obviously nothing you can do.
Disgusting act again, like injuring players
But-
deliberately.
Oh, you just see his head roll back and he hit floor and you just went, he's out. And obviously, luckily, he got up and he was carried off, but consciously with his legs moving, sort thing with a bit of support.
In fact,
but
sorry,
his face was all busted
didn't
up.
need
and
the
you're like,
stretcher.
oh, you poor sod.
It was before that. It was literally the first.
It was, yeah.
First set.
Because I worried it might take the sting out of us.
People were still coming back. I remember someone was saying,
You'd
"What
have found the sting on Davis's face.
Unfortunately for him.
Because I bet that one was sting.
Absolutely.
You know when they talk about the Falcon?
Oh, that was a falcon and a half.
That's a proper falcon,
That's a proper
isn't it?
falcon.
Yeah.
You
I think he failed his HIA, so he'll be out.
ate a kick directly to the face from about 2 metres.
I genuinely, and I mean this.
I'm sure people around us were still shouting green card. As
Yeah.
well. I said green card? He's out cold. Just drag him off the sideline for 2 minutes.
But then, how do you restart the game? Because we've had this before where, like, I say I've had this before, where I've been playing cricket and someone's tried to stop a ball off hitting, it's hit them in the head. And the umpires, like, made us stop running and said, you can have that run, but you can't have any more because you've hit him in the head. Well, first of all, I hit it on the floor, so I didn't deliberately hit him on the head, did I? He just dove at it with his head.
That's inhumane.
Which was inhumane of him, not me. But then, how do you restart the game? Because obviously you have to stop the clock immediately if it hits someone in the
Well,
face.
have you seen the clip of Liam Moore? I saw this today, and I don't know if you've watched the game back full or whatever, but it basically brings Lamb Farrell over and says, I've had to stop the game because my first point of call is player safety. So you had obviously with his head on the manner he's gone down, I had to stop the game. He said, and he basically said, we're going to go back to the play of the ball, which was over here. And he said, it is unusual, but given its unusual circumstances, I think that's the best way to handle it, type thing.
Probably is right, that.
So he's kind of just pulled the captain and said, I know it's unreal, but again, I had to stop the game because the manner in which he went down, player safety was my first point of call. And I was like, you know what, fair. And he explained it to the captain, so they both just went, yes, we play the ball, and he went, yeah, and no complaints, and it's really good that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be charging down a kick after that.
No.
He wasn't even charging a kick, was it?
He was?
No,
He wasn't. No,
He was
No, he
just,
just
sort
did
of put a little bit of pressure, then stepped across.
He didn't know he was going to kick it.
Yeah. That's probably made it worse, you know. You know, if you're charging down and you brace for it,
Yeah.
compared to just...
Well, he would have had his hands up, wouldn't he?
Yeah. So that was 30 points to 0. The try that we already discussed with Eckersley, Bevan, straight at Lachlan Lamb, commits him.
Look how narrow.
That's what I mean. Look how flat they are. 1, 2, 3. I think you could hit. Probably not second row. I think if he hits Kieran or Eckersley there, to be fair.
But look how narrow the defence is there. Yeah. I wish we could show the viewers this, the listeners. Look how narrow they are there. You're looking at Kieran. If you give it to Kieran there, he's 2-on-1. Because he's quite far outside the centre there.
It's one of them, isn't it, that Bevan just does well enough to get Lamb interested.
He's probably drawn a few of them in a bit with his move.
But by dragging Lamb in to deal with Bevan, because he's concerned about him going on the inside of him, Tessie has to come and deal with Walters and get stuck in no man's land. And that drags in his senior in, who's then stuck in no man's land.
So they've actually done the right thing, but it's cost them.
Yeah. You just have to hope that he drops it or throws the pass poorly.
Which he doesn't. He throws a beautiful little face ball.
No look pass.
Becker's going to get some tries this year. Isn't
Yeah.
it? Goodness me.
Kieran converts.
Loves that face ball.
As we know, makes it 36 points to 6. Now, one of my favourite tries of the game. A little bit of shape, left to right.
No.
Right to left, sorry. Thank you. And we get an on-rushing defence. Fields out the back. And Smith, really clever, just steps off his left foot, drops the kick in behind. And
I won't repeat what Lewis said to me about this try, but he said if Nathan Cleary had put this try on for one of his second rowers, NRL 360 would have been, let's just say, overjoyed at the replay of that try, and would have played it every day. If he'd done that in 2021, they'd still be playing it now. Let's be honest.
And they should.
We
should just be doing the same.
That is some skill.
Silky smooth. Catches it, nice and composed, steps off the foot, puts a lovely weighted kick in. And then December gets it and scores. I just think it's such good half-back play.
It's a gorgeous try, that. Absolutely gorgeous.
Now,
and again, it's another try where, like, you've been beaten so many times with different kind of tries, and you're trying to stop that happening, and you're trying
to stop the shape and the
they
threat.
just find another way to score.
Too many options.
Now,
it's relentless.
It's not fair.
It's inhumane.
It's not fair. It's not fair on other teams.
Yeah, it's not fair.
We just can't be so
We
good.
can't play like this. It's not fair.
We have to just stop tackling people so hard.
Stop running balls so strong.
Now, it's 42-0 with about 12, 13 minutes left. And I said to you, Lewis, and Matt, when we were in the pub before the game, I don't get why they've got Gaz O'Brien on the bench.
For his frosted tips.
Now, one of the lads who sat around us said
Timberlake.
that if I was coming on at 42-0... One of the lads around
Ironically, him and his defensive partners weren't in sync. They were out of sync.
Nice.
Give that credit where it's due, that one. But a point was made that if you're coming on at 42 points to 0 with 10 minutes to go for your first involvement in the game, you probably wouldn't wear bright orange boots, would you?
Oh, I wouldn't.
I'd be asking for a pair of black boots.
I wouldn't have frosted tips ever. 90s.
And then the biggest problem is his field jumps across.
The biggest problem is he can't defend.
And
What's he doing?
being the fresh man, getting beat like that is poor.
Yeah.
Vic just walks around him. Doesn't even try and beat him, really.
No,
do you know, watch these highlights back? You just see that he didn't want to tackle Jay Field.
no.
The amount of stuff
many
just
of them,
watching
yeah.
Field just bounce about the place and no one's actually tackling him.
It's just a horrendous miss, isn't it? He flies out to hit him and just completely whiffs.
But again, if you're a second rower that's played 70 minutes and been bullied all game, I get it.
You see a sub come on and do that.
If you come on the field, miss a tackle, can't kick a dropout 10 metres, and then concede again.
Yeah, Tom Forber. I love Tom Forber.
Yeah, you're a big fan of his.
I'm a big fan of Tom Forber. And I was pleased that he got a try.
Yeah.
Off the back of a nice offload that was from Essay.
From Sam Essay. Forber, again, talk about that wrestling to get down.
Yeah, he could have very easily been stopped there.
Commitment to get to the line. 54 points to 0.
Yep.
Serendipity.
Inhumanity.
That is possibly one of the most dominating victories I've seen in a long time. Vegas was good.
Yes. In terms of a full 80-minute performance, I might say something now. That's the best I've seen. In terms of a full 80, because Vegas, we blew them away from 20 to 60. Because the first 20 was nip and tuck. Then we blew them away for 40 minutes, and then we let them back into it. That, we put the foot on the throat when the first whistle went, and we didn't take it off till the last whistle went.
Yeah.
And I've never, ever seen a team do that to another team. Ever. Apart from, when it was Salford and it was all the kids. Or when it was...
Even that wasn't dominant.
It was like this. it was like this. Or us when we played Rochdale. It was like this.
But I don't think it was as dominated, like physically battering a team that are meant to be up there with you.
Well, that's the thing, is that a lot of people were tipping Wigan and Leigh after the first week. Or were tipping Wigan, Leigh, Hull KR Leeds. Those were like a lot of people's top fours, us included. And to take one of these so-called rivals, who you're meant to be competing with for this year's competition, to take them behind the woodshed and do this to them was absolutely inhumane. And it should be looked at by the relevant authorities.
Can you write a statement?
I know a man who can.
Right.
I need to teach him some punctuation first.
Right, before we wrap up this, I just want to talk about when we want about dominating games. I'm just going to list off a list of players in. I want to see if you can think about what they all had in common. Field, Marshall, Havard, Thompson, Junior, Faz, Walters, and Patrick Mago.
What did they all have in common?
They all had in common from this game.
All ran over X amount of metres.
All ran triple figures.
Over 100 metres.
All ran over 100 metres. And inside that as well, SA ran 81 from 10 carries.
Lovely.
Cade Ellis ran 80 from 10 carries. Bevan and Harry both ran 90s.
I'd like to ask about missed tackles, but I don't even remember. Like, we didn't make that many tackles anyway. To miss that many.
I was going to say Kieran was down as missing 3.
He didn't take anyone's head off, though.
That's why he missed 3. Probably.
Junior and Ollie Partington missed 3.
Well, there's nobody missed really many.
Mago missed 4. But yeah, I'm going to say something as well I want to talk about. I'm liking the SA Mago double impact prop sort of.
I like it as well because it comes at a time when Partington is also on. And I feel like them 3 work well together. And then the original 3, Havard, Thompson, Ellis, work well together. You wouldn't want to mix any of them up,
well,
in my opinion.
Yeah, possibly, but I think in the first half, we take one of the props off early. This week it was Thompson.
It was Thompson again.
But we brought SA on.
Havard, didn't Havard do an enormous stint again?
Didn't go off it first half.
Ridiculous. That man is absolutely ridiculous. He has got some engine. Because every time you see somebody hit the ball up, it seems to be him.
And every tackle he gives hurts.
I know, but
he just tackles so
I can't quite believe how good he's been this year. He's been absolute Adonis.
Yeah. And we're gonna have to see now a little bit of rotation. What's going to happen over the next few weeks. But I do think that double SA, and then he comes off after 10 and brings Mago on for 10-15 either side of half time. It's just so much power.
Mago's in the hole, isn't he?
I just think it's so much power. And teams
if you've
can't
got a bit
handle
of a lead and you've tired them out, Mago comes on and he's just an absolute destroyer.
Yeah. Right. I think that wraps it up. Anything else to say, lads?
I don't think so. I think the only thing, a positive, if you like, over Cloud and all that, obviously Wardle's got injured, Farrell's got into the centre, but I do think a positive of that has been that when you start Walters and December in the back row, it just adds some little bit to the pack, doesn't it?
I think it's a different
just
option.
when they're all
It makes our front row a bit cleaner.
Yeah.
It makes it a bit more obvious who does what in our front row.
It does. And I think it makes the actual middle of the park a lot bigger and more physical.
I think it just gives options, doesn't it?
I think so.
I do like it.
Next week, right, let's say they did make a change and put a young lad at centre. And you're lining up beforehand and you don't know whether Farrell's going to be out there or Walters is going to be out there. It's 2 different challenges. You can have Farrell running repetitive lines on you all the time.
It's another game where Farrell...
He ran 150 metres, by the way.
Ran 150 metres.
I think he played well, Farrell, this game at centre.
Yeah, he played really well again. He played really well again.
Yeah.
And he's an easy target, isn't he? He's an easy target for people to
It seems to be the scapegoat.
Go at, because he's obviously not the flashy...
He's not the player he was 10 years ago.
No, but also, because he's been there more than 10 years, he's not like the brand new, shiny new toy, like Sam SA is. He's not the punch through the line and throw an offload and drag 5 players with you like Big Sexy is. But he's still doing it. Like, if he ever stopped doing it, then I think we'd probably call it out. But he's still running 150 metres. He's still being solid. And just because he's old, that don't mean he's no good.
Definitely. Right. I thought we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll go around the grounds. So we're now going to go around the grounds. Probably best to start at the biggest event of the weekend, apart from the Battle of the Borough. Over in Vegas, Leeds, Hull KR.
It's big, isn't it, Vegas?
It's just massive.
Like, you see all the NRL media that we watch every single week talking about the NRL. When you see them start to get involved with the Super League, you see Fletch and Hindy had Fletch had a Hull KR top on and Hindy had a Leeds top on. They were pretending Russell. You had Vossi desperate to have a Galloway's pie, and Brian Carney had brought in one.
I love it all. It's just a massive event.
Brian Carney's been... He said it last year as well when we was at Vegas, but he said it this year as well when, speaking to the Australians over there, saying there needs to be more collaboration work to ensure the sport is the winner type thing. It's not about England versus Australia, and although we might have different leagues, it's the same product. It's rugby league, and we need to get it out there, and we need to work together and collaborate for the good of the game. And I think he makes a very good point.
Yeah, I can't disagree with any of that. Now, the big thing before the game, flying the lead singer out of Eurasia.
Andy Bell.
To then put in a performance.
Andy Bell's performance or Hull KR's?
Both.
Okay.
Not up to standard.
This was about as much of a battle as what happened at the break on Thursday night, wasn't it? Because now they're really battles.
No. And...
Well, some battles in history have been incredibly one-sided.
I suppose.
Not the ones we remember, but some of them have been very one-sided. This was more like, if you think about the charge of the Light Brigade, just lasted about 4 seconds and immediately wiped out everybody on one side, and then that was it. That's the battle over.
Yeah, this is an absolute... Another domination, 58 points to 6. Sevo getting 4, Cooper Jenkins, Croft getting... both of them getting 2, Ryan Hall and Palacia. Wow.
You had a point about Palacia you wanted to make. You told us on Sunday that's why they were letting Cam Smith go, because Palacia was playing so well.
Yes. Yeah. I just thought his ball playing is his strong point, Cam Smith. And really, is it that effective? I get that you need a ball playing 13, but you are still a forward. Your job still is to get metres. I just think Palacios is relatively okay. When they want a ball player, they can put Jared O'Connor in at 13.
Yeah.
Do you really need that?
I thought Danny Levi was pretty good for them, so you could play the two of them together, couldn't you?
That's what I mean. Like, if you really need a ball player to break a side open, you can put Jared O'Connor in at 13 and...
He'd be fine, though.
Yeah. But in big games, you're going to want to start Palacio there for that defence on his meters.
We saw it last week, didn't we, about Sevo knocking Ben Jones-Bishop over and saying, well, Ben Jones-Bishop he's 37.
Yeah. Tom Davis isn't 37.
But he knocked Tom Davis out, and it's... Tom Davis is a good winger.
And that's what Tom Davis does to other wingers.
Yeah.
And he absolutely ragdolled him.
Yeah.
I think it was his second one. He's got the ball in his left hand. And he's basically got hold of Davis's shirt with his right hand. Like round the collar. Handed him off, but...
Sevo, if he stays fit like this, is going to be a problem for this league.
Yeah.
And I mean a problem.
Well, they've got it on both sides.
Yeah, because Ryan Hall, world's best winger, he is still performing. Still
churning out meters. Still
the only player to score for them who wasn't an Aussie import or an import from the NRL, which tells me that they've probably recruited alright from that pool of players.
Just look, Sevo and Hall. Hall ran 140 metres and Sevo ran 191. Obviously, he had that in this.
No, that
from the dropout.
From the short dropout. Why would they doing a short dropout when they were winning by so many anyway?
Get more of that.
Rub it in.
Put more points on.
Rub it in.
I know they won the World Club Challenge last week.
Yeah, so this is like a holiday, isn't it?
Your fans have paid thousands to go out there.
Oh yes, I saw somebody who said that they and their very large family will not be coming back. I didn't know whether he meant large family as in
A lot of members.
or size. Yeah, I don't know.
You can't put that performance
But
in.
they were never going to a OKR game again because they flew all the way out to the desert to watch them serve up that drivel.
You can't do that. I get it. You have to put a better performance. Lose. You can go and lose.
Mm.
I didn't think a team would go to Vegas and put a worse performance in for 30, 40 minutes than Warrington did last
Okay,
year.
I said hold my beer.
Like, they've outperformed Warrington's.
The problem was they weren't getting other people to hold the beers. They was probably supping too many the night before.
Holding other people's beers as well.
And they picked up a few injuries, obviously. I know Morg being out for them is a big loss and Broadbent steps in, but there's not 5 or 6 injuries there. There's not loads. Dean Adley played through it.
Do you think Leeds had a particular strategy with the direction of travel? They sent a lot of ball through a certain channel. See where I'm going here? They sent a lot of ball through the standoff channel.
Mm.
Jenkins, Palacia, Croft. 5 tries? All through that channel? Yeah.
It's
One in particular, I think, for one of the Croft tries, Lewis has an absolutely horrendous read.
Mm.
It looks like a bad missed tackle, but it's not. It's a horrible, horrible read.
definitely. I'm still sat here thinking, and we've had the Ashes and all that stuff, and I don't care how good he is going forward. He has to get better defensively.
Yeah.
That's what Brodie Croft gets paid for, by the way. Love to see that performance from Brodie Croft.
Yeah.
Because it went against us. I love to see that performance from Brodie Croft.
Yeah.
He's one of the best players in our league. Playing like that, then that's one thing that does showcase our league in a good light.
It was really good. I had this discussion. If Bevan was to leave tomorrow and we were to sign someone and not promote Jack Faz, I'd pick Croft over Lewis. I get that Lewis has had a better couple of seasons and whatnot. I think Croft's a better 6.
Might sign George. You know me.
Yeah.
No,
But
Croft's fantastic.
I think the thing as well that's like it's getting a bit lost is it's too lost in the league that now.
Yeah.
Okay, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like,
Huddersfield next week.
yeah.
Yeah, so
On 2 points.
they've got 2 points then at least. So
Yeah, that's what I mean. But yeah, I mean, like you made the point, didn't you, last week that league leaders over the past however many years have only
5,
ever
6 or 7 games.
Last 3 years was 7, 5 and 5.
And they were all won on the last day.
they've already lost 2.
Yeah. And they're going to have to squeeze in a game in hand against Warrington.
The only thing is if neither of them get to the cup final,
They could play it that week, I
they'll
suppose.
play cup final like St. Helens did when they went to Australia. But the season can soon get away from you. It can soon
But
get
it's
away
like
from
you said, I did predict these. I thought it was going to be hard to back it up, but
I thought it was going to be
not for
close.
that performance. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You might, but not for that. It's going to be really. I mean, the good news for him, I suppose, if there's anything, is
They got Huddersfield next.
they've got Huddersfield next, so it's not like they then have to go and back it up back up into Wigan or go into wherever
Yeah.
it might be.
a progress with Unity Stadium.
The progress with the Unity Stadium. So you know what I mean. There is the opportunity there then to kind of get your first leave out, just resettle the ship a little bit, get 2 points on the board, and then go from there. Really.
Yeah.
But
It's back-to-back games against Huddersfield, isn't it? League and then Cup.
Oh, because the Cup weekend is the following weekend, yes.
Yeah. I will say,
Get some form there.
there's been some statements put out in the Peters' comments were
Oh, yeah, Peters was
I think we have to be after that performance.
Yeah, I guess.
And I think I've seen a statement from the club. Was it
I think
from
the
CEO
credits in the bank for winning the World Club Challenge goes so far, but
You used a lot of it up though.
it doesn't go as far as that performance.
And I think he was right in what he said, where he said the people I feel sorry the most for is the fans who've spent their hard-earned money to come all this way to watch the team and put in a performance like that. I think, it's
That is
the only thing to say,
The
really.
flip
isn't
side for that is that the Leeds fans have had an absolute ball,
Yeah.
because that would have been beyond their wildest dream. I mean, they probably would have gone there thinking they were a chance to win.
Was it Hull KR's home game as well?
Don't remember.
I don't know.
Don't remember.
Should we go on to the rest of the games?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Friday, 2 games. Castleford, Huddersfield. Cass win 34 points to 8, 16-4 at
Cass.
half time.
Cars are off the mark. Good for them. Ryan Carr's got his first win.
George has played.
Yeah, he played
Yeah,
well,
he is.
apparently.
He
Look,
is, yeah.
Cass fans were saying he did quite well. Said he got a good engine on him,
Yeah.
which is a good compliment, especially playing forwards.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a couple of incidences.
Incidents.
Incidences. The Ash Gould in Herpel. Just looks like he pulls his ponytail.
He didn't
No, he
want
does. That's because that's exactly what happened.
And an incident from Tane Milne
Oh, he took someone's head off, didn't he?
before he caught the ball.
Yeah.
There's a short play set up.
I've seen this. He doesn't get sent off.
I know.
He don't got banned.
He just shot off and hit him out.
If you got a short side play done, you can just go miles offside and take somebody's head off.
Clothesline.
That's a dangerous precedent.
Yeah.
I think Huddersfield would be better off playing that Robot 6. Honestly.
I'm just looking at Huddersfield's fixtures here. They got Hull KR next, which is obviously not what they want. I actually don't know. How would you see a win coming up?
I don't.
The next set of matches are Hull KR.
30 minutes of the King Billy springs to mind,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
King Willie's close and he'd still beat them.
I get it. They've got a couple of decent players. George Flanagan at 18, 19 is not going to win you Super League games.
If he's your best and most consistent player, you're in a bad place.
Yeah.
Because he's a good young talent.
He should have experienced players pulling him through and guiding him, shouldn't he? Not him leading the bloody team.
I'm just looking at the fixtures. The first game I fancy him for, they've got York at home on the 4th of April.
That won't be easy.
And it won't be easy. Yeah.
Well, speaking of York, the next game
That's
up.
a great win.
I know. Up the Knights.
Fantastic win.
It's almost as good as it gets, really, to go to Hull
Away from home.
away from home. I know the record last year wasn't great, but 17 points to 16.
Yeah.
2 really, really close games. Drop goal from Danny Richardson being the difference in the end.
Yeah.
And things go from bad to worse for Hull FC.
Danny Richardson, match winner in 2026.
Who said that?
No way.
But, like I said, it goes from bad to worse. They obviously beat Bradford at the start of the season. A big loss to us that could have been a lot worse. An injury to Will Price. Lose to...
Well, Liam
York at home.
Knight decided to go home,
Yeah.
stealing that from your news section,
but
Lewis.
then said he was going to play in this game, which was his motivation to play well.
Yeah. I just don't get... Does that mean they can deregister him from the cap like they can with... Because Will Price,
They
they can
can.
deregister because he's out for the season and you get 25th,
They can.
25, 27th
They can.
of his
They
wage
get
to
24,
spend.
27th of night, and they've got the quota spot to spend on Price's replacement to bring in someone. The absolute worst thing they did here was Harvey Barron got taken off, injured. They had nobody on the wing, and they kicked to the corner. When it landed, nobody went for it. Because the wing was off injured.
It's just like...
At what point do you sit there and think, if you're Cartwright, you sit there and you think, what on earth am I doing here?
Yeah, and you're not
So
again.
to be,
You're not like a really young side. I know Caesar had gone off at that point.
they have had quite a few injuries. Is that
But you still know that, like, you've got Kate Custer, you've got plenty of players who've played a lot of games. I've got to talk about one of the strangest yellow cards I've seen in this game. Cartwright. See his yellow card?
the son?
Yeah, as he was walking off injured, just miles offside, realised they were going to score down his side and he just took him out.
Yeah, but I think that's the right thing to do
Oh, yeah.
because it saved the try.
Saves the try. Yeah, I am sat here with a couple of teams, Huddersfield and Hull FC, going, I don't know where they go from here.
Be interested to see where the Hull FC fans think.
Just looking at Hull
Do they lose
FC.
patience with the coach? Do they blame the players? Do they just say it's bad luck, been hit by a couple of injuries? Is there probably multiple of those things they kind of got going on their heads? Do you know what I mean? Because fans are expecting big things. They're spending money. They've changed the squad personnel. They've gone through coaches. Like
They've gone through quarter
They're-
players.
quarter players. They're thinking they're on the up,
Got
and
10.
it's like, do you know what I mean? Where do they stand at the minute? It would be interesting to see, wouldn't it?
I've got a couple of questions if I was a Hull fan. Why are we picking so many injuries up? Because they had loads in 2025.
I think they are asking that question.
They had loads in 2024. Didn't we mention this? That the SNC guy,
It's John Clark.
who's in Manly,
Yeah.
he's Manly's SNC guy and does Hull FC's from Australia.
Well, he obviously isn't doing it from Australia. Someone must be doing it for him.
Well, he's listed as the head guy, so I'm guessing he's overseeing it and someone's employing it over here. I don't know. It's a really strange situation. That Saturday's games: 2 Warrington, Wakefield, 27-16. Warrington good again in the first half. A little bit of fight back from Wakefield, but not enough.
Yeah, that Sipley's a must-watch player, isn't he?
Mm.
He scored a try. He's getting the crowd hyped up. He was an absolute penalty machine. He got sin-binned. Then he waited on the side of the pitch after being sin-binned to apologise to everybody, to all his teammates, because he got sin-binned for repeated infringements. It wasn't like he did anything nasty or anything. So he was apologising to his teammates. I just feel like he's a bit like Conrad Hurrell. He's going to get the crowd going. He's going to be a fan's favourite.
He'll make mistakes.
But he'll make a few mistakes, but he'll score a few barnstorming tries, and a bit like what Fatilli is for Wakey.
Yeah,
He gives away a lot of penalties, but he's a fan favourite because he runs it hard and he scores a few tries.
definitely. Been impressed with Warrington.
Yeah, they were good again.
And I will give them credit because it would have been very easy having the week off last week to let a bit of your momentum go.
I think Burgess said that on BBC.
That's
Burgess said
probably
that was a decent interview for. There was a good interview from Mark Sneed. Taylor Ray got interviewed, and Charlie was giving him advice, which I thought was good. Then Burgess was interviewed, and he said something similar to that. So I think there's a lot to like from Warrington at the minute. There's a lot to like from Wakefield as well, though. They were well in this game. Well in this game.
Yeah.
They conceded a couple of tries to kicks where you think if your defence is a bit more organised there and a bit more on it, your edge defence, you don't concede that try from a kick, and that's probably the difference.
They're like that though, Wakefield, haven't they? They have been the last couple of seasons. They're not an easy win. They don't go away. Do you know what I mean? They don't roll over.
Never went away in this game.
Yeah.
Jowett was injured, he couldn't even walk, and then he finished off a try in the corner. Really nice try. There was a couple of over-the-top passes. There was one that nearly worked, but Taylor Ray had a try saver where he combined with George to save a try.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone compliments Taylor Ray for his attack, and that's brilliant.
I was going to say, I wanted to mention that.
But I liked his try saver as well.
George's work was phenomenal on that as well. To get there and make the first contact so that he can't just run at Taylor Ray. And the Taylor Ray's commitment. Might not have seen that from an ex-fullback at Warrington.
That is a try for Wakefield if it's 2025.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Moving on over to France.
Yeah, see, I watched that Wakefield and Warrington game, so you were on the Saints game.
Yeah.
So I need you more on this one.
I am once again saying that I'm concerned for Catalans. there is no reason this squad should be performing the way that it has. It obviously lost to Bradford last week. I'm not saying there was
a bit of ill discipline, which has been an accusation thrown at Catalan in the past, and I feel like it's almost a bit lazy. But they were bad for that against Bradford. Were they the same in this game or not?
This was just poor. They stayed in it early on. It was 6-0 at half time.
Yeah.
And then come out in the second half, and in the space of, I'm going to say, 10, 15 minutes, you can see the 18 points, and it kills you.
They look like a lot of barge overs.
I don't think they...
Like a lot of easy, like weak defence.
Yeah. Jacob Hoss had a good one, where he hit a really good line. Cal Felt gets a double. But nothing where I'm sat going, that was unstoppable.
Yeah.
When you talk about Paul Rowley coming in and playing good rugby or whatever...
Well, if you don't need to.
It wasn't really needed to.
Yeah.
Catalan's put them in good positions.
Fair enough.
And when you look at the two halves that Catalans have got, it should not be easy to get in good positions. There should be two halves that can control field position. That's what they're both known for, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we were impressed with the half-backs a couple of times. It's not...
Yeah, they did play Huddersfield when we said they were well.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Well, maybe that's a...
It was against Huddersfield.
We'll have to keep bringing that asterisk out now for anything we've said against Huddersfield.
Just not recovered Catalan, have they? They had the bad spell under McNamara. They went and changed the course thinking that'd pick them up a little bit, and they've never really picked up from there, or even looked to show any signs of promise or building. They're in a bad rut here with
I'm just looking at the side.
Well, especially when you consider now there's another French team coming into the league. I don't know much about the French supporters, but could that be then attractive to prospective new fans?
Yeah.
The fact that Toulouse are new and they're doing well.
There's a story there, isn't there?
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, I just keep looking at that Catalan side and thinking there is no way that is the level of performance that they should
But we
be
all
doing.
know that the game's not played on paper, and teams can be greater or lesser than the sum of their parts. And if you look at Catalan squad, for example, and then you put it up next to York's, you would not think that they would be in such different positions, or Bradford's or Toulouse or whoever, or even Cass. Like Cass have had, Cass have lost 2 as well, but they played all right. And there's some green spar shoots against us. Then they lost in France, and then they won a big one. A big win.
I'm looking. How have Catalans got 2 players on loan from Wigan? Catalan.
Yeah.
Lehman and Chaplat.
Well, you wouldn't think that a few years ago, would you?
That's what I mean. You're meant to be better. This is a team that was in a grand final 3 years ago. You should be.
My favourite thing about this game was I saw on Twitter a St Helens fan complaining to Sky Sports because the commentator was calling them Stains and not Saints, completely disregarding the fact that Catalan have a player called Stains.
Well, yeah. Right, last game was over at Odsal. Second time we've been there on Sky on TV.
2 killer bacons again.
There's balls, baby. Ballmania.
Really good win for Bradford.
Yeah.
I don't think Toulouse were at the best from what we've seen in the first 2 games.
Yeah, they dipped off a bit, didn't they?
But I think Toulouse will be targeting home games this year, like they did last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And rightly so.
Yeah.
Make it a bit of a fortress. But I think the same could be said about Bradford. Also, the history of it, do you know what I mean? Like, make Odsal a bit of a fortress, difficult to go and play at.
We said at the start of the year, them 3 promoted sides. Well, none of us thought they would all be 2 from 3. First of all, let's just point that out. Sort of fair play to them. But I just find myself thinking a good season for them is 10 wins. They get 20 points. Bear in mind, teams don't have loop fixtures, so they're not going to keep playing a couple of the weaker teams 2 or 3 times. I just find it. They're in a great position here to actually say in some games we don't really need to worry here. You can go away from home and get battered, and it's not the end of the world because you're not going to be fighting on points difference at the bottom. All of them have got to play Huddersfield once or twice. The way they're performing, that's going to be points for them. Toulouse have got teams coming there that they can beat and turn over, and if you win half your home games from here, Good first season back in Super League.
So there's a thing in football called the Other 14. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. It's basically in the Premier League, if you take away the big six, the rest of them, a lot of them want to stay up every year. They really want to stay up. If you beat all the other teams, apart from the big six at home, you get 39 points, and that normally keeps you up. And so anything other than that is a bonus. And then anything under that, obviously, you've got to catch up with one of your away games or one of your games against the big six. So there's a guy who tracks it online, and that sort of stuff that I find interesting. So, that's the sort of thing I spend my Saturday afternoons looking at. So I like this in this case here. If you think of maybe not the big six, maybe the big four, you might say, or maybe the big five. I don't know. Wigan, KR, Leigh, Saints, Leeds, whatever. Outside of that, can you beat all them other? How many other teams would that be?
It would leave you 8 other teams.
If you beat the other 8 teams at home,
16 points.
You're on 16 points. It's a pretty good start. You'll not finish bottom, I don't think, with 16. Just one thing I wanted to mention that one of our followers actually tweeted, Cam Don Duncan, the Wigan fan, about how many people were at these games, and it kind of passed me by. I'd kind of registered it, but not really registered it. The first 2 games back at Odsal were Catalan and Toulouse. And so, you want to Leeds, or you want to Cass, or you want to Wakey, or you want your own big teams. But he was saying, last time the French clubs were both in Super League in 2022, Salford averaged 3,600 fans in those 2 games. Wakey averaged 3,700. Huddersfield averaged 3,800. Cass averaged 6,600. Hull KR averaged 6,000, basically 7,000. Hull FC averaged 9. Wire averaged 9. And Bradford have averaged 9 this year. So it's pretty good company. They're up with Hull FC and Wire. And all the other clubs are bigger than that. Leeds, Wigan, they did better than that. That's fine. But obviously, it's the first 2 games back in Super League, and that counts for something. Those numbers might not have been higher if they were in the middle of the season. I get that. I also think, as you were mentioning last week on your news section, Lou, the figures have gone up for every club.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of inflation you have to sort of take into account there as well. But considering they're a newly promoted side, any newly promoted side, we'd be happy with those numbers. Upper 9,000s against a French team with no away support. You've got to be happy with that.
Yeah.
And then I just really, really want to see it on those nights where they've got Leeds. I don't know if they're playing them on Maundy Thursday. That always used to be tradition. I don't know if it's Leeds or Bradford or whoever's at home, whatever. But those games against Leeds and Cass and Wakey and, Wigan and Saints, you've got to put into that bracket as well. If you think back to the good old days, as some might call them, those were packed houses. Yeah. And I'd love to see that again.
Yeah.
It's obviously ridiculous with the corners and the fact that it's freezing cold and the fact that it seems to always be raining or foggy or whatever. But it does look like a Super League. It feels like Super League when you're watching it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest compliment I think I can give it.
Yeah, it's probably the best you can say.
Whereas at Salford, it never really felt like Super League. Not at the new ground anyway.
Yeah, it did for a little spell, didn't it, when they got to that grand final and they were getting decent crowds in.
But I just think it was ever really full enough at their place.
Yeah. Right. I think we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll go through the predictions. So it's that time of the week, again, where we look at predictions and the predictions that we made last week. So...
Right, I'm off. Because I did not do well on this.
No. First game we predicted was Hull FC York. Hull FC had a 14.5 handicap. I went Hull FC. Yeah. You three, Matty Lewis and the fans went York, obviously getting the win there.
Yeah. Not only did they cover, they won.
Yeah, exactly. Now, why did we all go Huddersfield?
We all went Huddersfield because the line was 8.5.
8.5. I'm just checking it and I can't.
We just
can't
felt
believe
like it was too many points.
Yeah. So yeah, we all got that wrong. With a big win for Castleford.
Never mind.
Hull KR leads in Vegas. Hull KR were minus 6.5. Matty, you were the only one who went Hull KR.
Yeah, I felt like they'd back it up for one more week.
Yeah, it's a close line, that. Now, the most interesting one. Warrington Wakefield. Warrington were minus 10.5 on the handicap. Lewis and the fans went Warrington. Me and you, Matty, went Wakey. Warrington won by 11.
Do you know, I even looked at the other handicap, you know, the one that has to be a round number, a whole number, to see if it was 11 so they could cheat the game and make it into a push and no one gets any point, but it was 10.
Yeah.
So never mind.
Yeah. Catalans had a minus 4.5 handicap against St. Helens. We all went St. Helens. They absolutely smashed that with the win, first of all, and by 30 odd points. We all got that correct. Bradford against Toulouse. The line was for Bradford minus 6.5. Me and you, Lewis, went Bradford.
Yeah.
The Bulls, baby. Bull mania.
These two
Matty,
are both now doing the Killer Bacon bullhorn celebration. Wish you could have seen that, viewers.
Matty and the fans, you guys went
Yeah, I thought it would be close.
for Toulouse.
I thought it would be, like a 1.2 point game again.
Yeah. So after the first round of predictions, Lewis, you got 5 out of 6.
Thank you.
The fans are 4 out of
performance.
6. I've got 3, and Matty, you are 2 out of 6.
Prime for a comeback.
Right, we're ready for this round.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
So I'll give you the game, I'll give you the handicap, and I want your score.
Okay.
Wakey versus Hull FC. Wakey a minus 6.5.
Wakefield.
I'm very confident to go Wakefield.
I think it's Wakefield as well.
Wakefield will win by more
Do
than
you know what the
6.5.
fans have got to say about that one so far?
Yeah, the fans are currently 88% going Wakefield.
No, I can't see that getting caught up then overnight unless all Hull fans suddenly find that button.
Yeah. On to Leigh versus Catalans at the Progress with Unity Stadium. Leigh a minus 8.5.
I'm just going to go Leigh again. Like I feel, as in the home team again. I just feel like 8.5 is too many points, but it's Catalan. And
That's
they've
the
been-
only reason
they've
I'm
been
going
terrible.
Leigh.
I'm going Leigh. I think that, and one, it's Catalan, and two, I think Leigh have to find a performance and correct.
The last 120 minutes of rugby.
Yeah, I think they've got to find something somewhere to get the season going. So back at the Leopards Den, I think they could.
I'm going to be honest, I'd be
Okay.
interested to see that line move when the 21-man squads are out. I can see that changing.
Well, yeah, I don't know who Leigh are going to play fullback because we didn't talk about Bailey Hodgson. I don't know if it's in your news section. Don't really know what his injury is yet, so it's not really to do with your news section, but
We'll discuss that later,
I don't think he'll be playing in this game.
No, neither do I. Right. Warrington travel to York. Warrington are minus 14.5 on the handicap.
Yeah, that's too many points for me. I think Warrington will win the game, but not by that many. I think it'll be similar to the Wakefield game. York won't go away. They'll lose, but they won't go away. So I'll go with York to get within 14.5.
No, I think Warrington will win by more than 14. I'm going Warrington.
I'm sorry, I'm going with Lewis again. Warrington.
Okay.
Fans are 60% for Warrington.
Oh, that's a bit of a closer one then, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, St. Helens host Bradford. St. Helens have got minus 24.5 on the cap, on the handicap.
Yeah, unless it's Huddersfield, I'm not picking anybody to win by more than 24.5. That's too many points.
Yeah, I think that's too many points.
And Bradford there with you
Put
three.
Bradford, I think Saints will win, but not by that many.
And as it stands, 60% of the fans say Bradford. So
That line's just so big. I mean, it might be right, but
I don't like that. I don't like it. Huddersfield, Hull KR. Hull KR and minus
don't even do this, Fred. Please don't. Huddersfield. What's the line?
12.5.
That should be 24 now. No, Hull KR for a bounce back.
I'm going Hull KR. And the fans agree at 70%. Leeds, Castleford, 16.5 for Leeds is the line. Now, I'm going to go out there. I think Leeds win, but they don't beat the handicap, so I'm going Cass on this.
I think Cass might be the good shout as well, because coming off the back of Vegas.
Vegas come down.
Yeah, and Cass played well. It was against Huddersfield though. Yeah, I'll go with Cass, but not with much confidence.
Give me handicaps again. What the Leeds start minus?
Minus 16.5.
That's a lot of points.
There's a lot of points, that, isn't it? Like you say,
It's
travelling
three,
back from
it's
Vegas.
3 converted tries.
But Leeds
Go on
are
the
that
Bees.
much better than Cass, probably. But they've been to Vegas.
Yeah, sorry because I know it's boring going with you guys, but yeah, no, I'm going Cass. I don't think it's too many points that for.
Would you
to end
have
up
went
on
York
back.
for that one against Warrington, and everyone else would have all been the same.
Yeah. Well, surprisingly, the fans, 61% of people have gone Leeds.
61 on the
Alright, I
Leeds.
think they'll do more. Do it.
That surprises me, that. It's a big gap to cover. Right, that's our predictions done. And we're going to take a quick break and come back with the news. Lewis, you've got the news, the roundup. Take us through, mate.
Yeah, so a couple of things we've already discussed, but just going over a couple of things. Alex Miller out with a broken leg for Castleford, so he's due to be out for a while.
12 weeks, I think.
Yeah, something like that, whilst he recovers from that, which is unfortunate. A lot of injuries start this season, though. I don't know if it's a normal amount, I mean, but quite big ones as well, a lot of ACLs.
Pitches aren't great, are they, because of how much rain we've had over
Yeah,
the winter.
I
I
think-
feel like they're not quite ready.
I'm going to throw something else out there. Do you not think the season started intense?
I think it always does, though.
Do you think it started to this level, or faster game,
Well,
more
like-
injuries?
You said again, Bailey Hodgson injury for Leigh. So he's out. So, like you said, it'll be interesting to see how they line up this week coming up and the good back line's going to look. I believe Thingy's near. I don't think he'll be back this week. Armstrong. But I believe he's near returning. But again, he's coming back from a long injury, so you want to lob him in at 80 minutes. So how would you like to phase him in? It's going to be hard, isn't it?
I was going to say on that.
For a full-back
they
as well.
cannot rush him back.
No.
No, I did last time, wasn't
It's going to be hard. And on the injury front, Huddersfield are set to review their training and kind of do a bit of an inquiry into their training practices, if you will, frequency, intensity and all that, amid an injury crisis for the team. So then people are going to have to review it and see what's going on.
Do you think
there,
this
why they're having
means?
so much
Do
injuries.
you think this means they're reviewing it because they've got too many injuries? They can't review. They can't do as much training, or do you think they're reviewing it to try and find out why they've got so many injuries?
I think it's a mix of both. Are they doing too much training? I actually read a thing, and I don't know if this is in your news, Lewis, but have you seen the Mitch Moses interview talking about he's been doing more work to be match ready because he's almost been underprepared and he's missed a lot of games for para. So there is the conversation of how prepared are you? Can you put too many miles in your legs? Do some people need more to be prepped for it? You've got to look at your playing squad and where your injuries are coming and how they're going, where they're training, 3G, 4G, playing on pitches, grass. A lot of talk about how you train from being on AstroTurf and 4G to then going playing on grass. It doesn't react the same.
That was one of the things that I think Adam Kieran said about Vegas. He said he doesn't mind training on 4G and playing on 4G. He doesn't mind training on grass and playing on grass, but they need to be the same. You can't train on one and play on the other, he said.
So I don't know, I'm not an expert in that field, but there's quite a few clubs that do it. And I wonder whether there's any
Cass
correlation.
train on tarmac now, don't they? They're training pitches tarmacked. Honestly, Lou, when we went to Cass, they just tarmacked everything. They must have got a deal on black paint and tarmac because they tarred absolutely every inch of the ground you could see and then painted everything else black.
But going back onto it,
Made it look better.
I know Leigh train on AstroTurf. I'm sure I read that Hull do. One of the videos I've seen of Hull and Brisbane training was on AstroTurf. You look at where injuries are being picked up, it would be interesting to see the training practices and what goes on there.
It's really, it must be so hard and this is why again they've got degrees in the stuff. But for sports scientists, exercise scientists, whatever you want to call them, strength and conditioning coaches, that side of the clubs, when you're working in the season and you've got only a week, and you're playing a sport like rugby league, so you've got to recover from the previous game. You want to obviously keep your size and strengths of hitting the weights, but you don't want the DOMs and to be sore for the game coming up. So you need to prioritise your weight sessions in from there, whilst also doing your field and your skills and
and the battle hardened, but not have too many miles in your legs.
Well, it's basically
and your contact, and
they say it's
so
like
hard.
The injuries are consistent with a 30-mile-an-hour car crash every week.
Yeah,
for every player.
The force,
for forwards especially.
But it must be so hard to actually plan a training schedule around it when you're thinking, right, well, hold on a minute, we play Saturday there, then it's a short turnaround to Thursday, but then we've got a week and then the Saturday the game after, and then trying to plan your sessions in.
Plus, their bodies are different as well.
Yeah.
There's not one thing fits all there, is there?
Well, that's it, and I mentioned it with the Moses stuff.
And your age, you've got to factor into that as well, and you know what I mean? There's a lot.
And you're talking to coaches who want the players ready.
And
I would not be surprised if coaches are pushing, saying, listen, he needs to be back soon.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Because their job on the line, isn't it?
It is.
Definitely.
It's hard. Not injury in terms of someone who is injured, someone who was injured last year, but it was a good story. You just told me about it, Matty. Cody Walker in the NRL has opened up a little bit. So he was injured last season, and he was saying that because he couldn't play, he felt like a bit of a burden to his teammates.
Yeah, it felt like he was letting them down because he only played 11 games. He had an injury in the final the previous year, maybe, or at the end of the season the previous year, and then he'd only played 11 games and he got injured again or something like that. And so he said he felt like it was a burden, he was letting his teammates down, and he was a bit of a waste of space in the training facility, and that he's had to work very hard mentally to overcome that this year. And he's aiming for a fast start to the season. Yeah.
But he's saying it's one of the best. I've seen him say it's one of the best pre-seasons he's had. It feels like he's more ready than he's ever been. He said, like, I've come like sometime pre-season, not felt right. He goes, whereas I'm feeling much better this year.
But it must be a terrible situation to be in. That you've got your teammates, 30 players, coaches, staff, whatever, 40 players that you see every single day. And every single day, you're all in the gym at the same time. You're all having your meals at the same time. You get in the changing rooms. You play your games.
When you're a halfback, you are relied upon. You know the team often goes as you go, and you get paid for it as well.
But to then go and you'll spend, they're out on the field. You're sat up in the stands having a physio session done, watching them, and then you want to get down there and you're watching the young lad who's took your place, and you want to give him some advice, but you can't. 'Cause you can't go out and show him what to do.
Yeah.
You got to do your own stuff, and they all.
I can imagine how that is mentally tough being an injured player like that if it's a long-term injury.
It must be really isolating.
Do you not remember? Sorry,
the fact the boys are all together and you're off one-on-one doing your rehab stuff. It must be really isolating. You must feel really lonely.
Do you not remember when Field did his hamstring the first time? The big one when he did it at the Progress with Unity Stadium.
That time, first time.
The first one when he's on the wing under Lamb. Do you not remember his videos of him like sat in the hospital after the surgery or whatever, and he was like, I'm just sat here like, I don't know when I'm going to be playing again. Am I going to play again this season? You don't know. Field was lucky he got 2 or 3 games at the back end of the year, didn't he?
Yeah.
But you might not get a game for a year.
And it's when it's your main identity as a rugby player, and you get paid handsomely for your team to win, especially if you're a halfback. I can imagine, and I don't think many players have really spoken out about that sort of thing before. So I just thought it was good to see Cody talk about that, and I'll be rooting for him. He's one of the game's good guys, isn't he?
Really good lad.
Yeah, that's good. And sticking in the NRL, kind of got to take you back a little bit here. Katoa, who last time we saw him in terms of like big thing in the media. He was playing. Who was he playing? Was it international duty?
Pacific. Yeah, he was on.
Was it Tonga? Yeah, he was playing for. Correct if I'm wrong here. He definitely had a head injury. I know that, and he was basically concussed, but he was still playing out on the field, wasn't he?
He had a head injury in the warm up, contesting a ball that he was just meant to catch, and someone hit him with a shoulder. He then went for a HIA in the warm up, passed the HIA. Went out in the first half, had another HIA, passed it, But apparently, if you have 2, you're not meant to then play at all. But because it was pre-game, they were able to get him back out.
Yeah.
He then went back out, had a third one.
Yeah.
Was told not to bother going for the HIA because it was the end of the game, and even if he did it, he wouldn't be able to get back on.
Mm.
And then had a seizure on the field.
Yeah, it looked bad. You just looked at his face, and his face was all swollen, and he was trying to talk to one of his teammates on the bench, and you could just see how hard it was for him.
But he went into a full
They
seizure.
were distressing images, it were.
They were distressing. Even before he went into the seizure, it was a bit distressing because he was trying to talk to his teammate.
Well, his club team is Melbourne, and they've said basically that he is having a place in rugby this year, and he's basically going to be like blue shirt trainer. So he's going to be kind of running on the field, giving direction, taking water and stuff like that. So still being going to speak about isolation and how he must be hard from injury. He's still going to be around the club. He's going to still be there on game days and play a part, which I think is really good.
A lot of it was about he got ruled out pretty much straight away. He had a bleed on the brain and whatnot, and they said he cannot play for X amount. It basically ruled him out for a year, didn't it?
12 months.
And then Melbourne immediately said they were going to pay his contract and pay him, even though he's not on the cap and stuff like that. They were going to pay him as they should, which is the right thing to do.
That's their obligation as employer, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know how it works in a rugby contract because you're not available to play. It's not like you're keeping you on.
It's only like an ACL. He did it on international duty.
Yeah.
I guess they could claim that back against Tonga Federation or something.
Insurance,
if you try and prove
like
that on the insurance, I don't know.
But I don't know how it works. I know there's a lot of talk about, well, you could pay him a lesser wage because he's not playing, but they basically said they're going to pay him the full contract. And then he's obviously doing okay in his recovery, and they've signed him up to be a blue shirt trainer, which means it's tactically.
Yeah, he's running on doing the tactics.
So he's involved. He's still with the lads. He'll be with them in training. I'm assuming he'll start doing a little bit of rehab stuff, and if he wants to go back into the game, he might not. He might just say, I'm done after an injury like that.
You'd hope he does, because he's a good player, but you'd hope he'd want to, is what I mean.
But if that's the case, he'll be in their training and they'll slowly bring him back safely.
Yeah, rightly so. Good news. Vegas, if I can get my teeth in, record attendance and TV viewership this time. So Vegas seems to be
getting bigger and bigger.
A success. It seems to be working.
I was going to say, obviously, the British fans travelled well. They
couldn't
travelled well
do
last
it,
year.
British fans. I'm convinced.
Yeah. Kalen Ponga's comments about the British fans were...
Everybody always says that.
But I wanted to add with that, the Dogs fans travelled well. Pretty much.
Dogs, a lot of supporters for the Dogs. They've got a lot of supporters.
Yeah, so I think they're trying to save a team.
Yeah, they're going to have to look at this because they're going to end up with some teams. Like what next time you've still got Tigers and Eels, they'll both travel relatively well.
Tigers have been basically confirmed to be in next year.
Yes, and Eels you think will travel well. Who else travel? I mean, Manly have already been. I was going to say Manly travel well. Warriors travel well, but they've already been. So you get into some teams now where you're thinking
it won't be Perth.
It shouldn't be, should it?
It's not.
Their first game should be in Perth.
They said it's not.
What about the Sydney teams, South Roosters, anything like that?
Souths have already been.
Roosters,
they've both already been.
Have they already been?
They've both already been.
So there's 5 teams alongside Perth who haven't been yet. Melbourne, West Tigers, Parramatta Eels, the Dolphins, and the Gold Coast Titans.
See, Melbourne, they do get quite a lot of fans in Melbourne, but they're quite a relatively new franchise. You want, in terms of the NRL, you want probably like Tiger versus Eel, Gus would say.
Tigers and Eels are definitely going.
That's your only really big game left. All the rest are newbies.
Are you going to take both of them?
You're going to have to recycle before, well, I don't know. They said they're not going to recycle before they finish all the teams. Then last week they said they might start recycling.
Well, my question to you is, if Para and West Tigers go, which one stays at home? Dolphins, Melbourne, Gold Coast. Gold Coast stay there for me.
Yeah. And you can send them the following year with the Rabbits or Manly or somebody who travels dead well.
Brisbane.
Brisbane again,
yeah.
Yeah, last couple of pieces of news then. News out of Cumbria. Whitehaven coach Anthony Murray has had to unfortunately resign from his position with the club. Obviously, that being Championship, semi-professional level, his main job, if you will, if that's the right word to use, it's basically become a bit more of a commitment for him. Travel commitments have increased, so therefore he can't really be on as coach anymore.
Yeah, he said he can't really give it the attention it deserves.
Yeah,
it's a shame because he's a bit of a legend in Cumbria. He's been head coach, not there, but he's been a head coach for 14 years.
I was going to say, he has said he will be staying with Whitehaven, helping out how he can, whether that's he turns up to sessions that he can attend.
Yeah.
But
I imagine he'll be... I mean, he's a wealth of knowledge when it comes to Cumbrian Rugby League. He's been there and done that. He's been working to now Whitehaven head coach. He's been 14 years, as I said, as a head coach. And so Whitehaven have said they've got a plan. They're going to announce it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is Tuesday.
I'm guessing they must have known for a
Probably,
few weeks and said, listen,
yeah.
will you just...
I think it's took the fans by surprise because they've only just started the season. They've got a bit of optimism.
That's what I mean. They must have known a couple of weeks ago and said, listen, just keep it to yourself till we can sort something out. And he's happy to do that.
Yeah.
Because the only thing worse than this is saying, yeah, he's moving on and we don't know what we're doing about it.
Yeah.
At least this case, they've got a solution to announce sooner rather than later.
Yeah. And last couple of bits. Luke Yates has signed a 2-year extension.
Good bit of business.
With the Warrington Wolves, good player.
That is good business, yeah.
I think Burgess rates him as a big fan of his, so yeah, good business. And then only a little bit of signing news. Huddersfield have brought in former Catalans player.
Yeah.
Help me out here. Tanguy.
Yeah, Tongai Zenon.
Zenon is how you say that.
He's a winger.
He's a
He
winger.
played against us a couple of times.
Did they need a winger?
Tanguy Zenon.
They need everything, mate.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to think of the back line.
Halsall.
Swift's on one side, isn't it?
Yeah, but Swift's injured.
Swift, Halsall, Gagai, Tane Milne.
Yeah, well. Yeah, but he's only going to be a backup winger, isn't he? This Zenon, he never really played for Catalan that much.
Yeah. But
He's another one they got from Halifax.
I just don't think how...
Oh, yeah.
The Halifax fire sale. David Nofaluma scored twice for York, didn't he? The win over Hull FC.
Yeah, I'm just not certain if I was Huddersfield,
You'd be after a winger.
I'd be after a backup winger.
Well, if it's Halifax, and they've not got Nofaluma, who else are you going to get? I don't know. Maybe he's the next best player. This is Zenon.
Do you have to get someone from Halifax? Just because they're available?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think I'd be looking for a bit of size in my pack or quality somewhere else to take a bit of pressure off Flanagan.
Well, they need a small stadium, some fans, a completely new roster, probably more experienced coach.
Halifax have some of those things.
Just turn to Huddersfield Panthers and just compare the two.
Merge them.
Well, Halifax have been given permission to carry on.
Yeah, that's good news. I heard that.
They have been given permission to carry on, despite the
Yeah,
issues.
there's going to be a chance to save them, isn't there? Somebody wants to save them.
Yeah, the 2 games that they've missed have been put down as postponed rather than conceded.
Right, I see.
So they'll have to make them games up at some point.
But the Championship and League One are just always teams making up games. There's always games in hand here and there because just things happen in that league.
Yeah. Well, that's up the news.
Right, over to me then for eye catchers if you're done there. So, NRL, obviously we have the first 2 games of round 1 completed at Las Vegas Allegiant Stadium. They had Knights versus Cowboys first, or Knight versus Cowboy, as Gus Gould would say. And Knight actually came out on top on this one, 28 points to 18. Some nice tries, particularly the try for Bradman Best, I thought was delicious.
Good player.
And they dominated, really. There was a game of it. They threatened to make a game of it, the Cowboys, but overall I thought the Knights were good value for their win. A good try for Dominic Young on the wing for the England involvement there.
Is he the first player to be there twice? They've been there with the Roosters.
There must be somebody else, though. You'd think there'd be somebody else.
I know. There must be.
Yeah, there must be somebody else. Maybe there will be.
Can we just say from that game, can people just protect Kalen Ponga?
What do you mean?
He had another shoulder to the head.
Oh, they love hitting him high, don't they?
It's just going to be... I just see another guy leaving the game because he's getting injured.
The other game on there was Bulldog versus Dragon, and Bulldog won this one 15-14 in extra time after a few drop goals were missed, with a drop goal from Stephen Crichton. This was just before it was going to run out and be a draw anyway. You know, that was just 1 more minute away from being a draw, this, because they had all them shots that they missed. Jacob Preston scored. There was an injury for Fletcher Sharp in the first game I was going to mention, because I was thinking about all the mullets at the same time, because Preston has a mullet done in, Fletcher Sharp had a mullet. Dragon scored a try from a guy called Setu 2, which was your eye catcher there, Jude. You want to talk about Setu 2? I don't know much about him. He's got an interesting name. He scored for the Dragon.
I just think this might be one of the greatest debut stories of a player ever. So, at 8 years old, he had a blackout, a bit of a seizure, was banned from playing contact sport. At 12 years old, he lost his mum to cancer. He ended up moving between his families in Samoa.
Oh, yeah.
Age 15, he was adopted by his older brother and shifted all the way across to New Zealand. Had big issues with anxiety, playing any form of rugby. I think it was described as uncontrollable shaking. Didn't switch to rugby league till he was 18. In 2024, was meant to make his NRL debut and then tore his MCL, meaning that he missed out on his debut in the NRL. He then went on a trial and train deal. Loads of different stuff happened to him, including missing the birth of his child during the COVID bubble. And then this year, whilst with the Dragons, was dragged into the office by Flanagan. He basically assumed that he was in trouble, he was going to get a spray, and then told that he was going to debut in Vegas and make his first ever game
That
in the
is
NRL.
a good news story, isn't it? That's
a
like
good
something
news
out of a
story.
film.
And then to say that he scored in the 58th minute,
Yeah. It's good to see somebody, when they've been through such hardships and they never give up. It's always good to see that, isn't it?
Overcoming adversity.
there's been a lot of reports about him breaking down with Flanagan once he was told he was going to play. He thought he was going to get a spray and get dropped to the reserves and whatnot. And finally gets to make his dream come true.
That is good.
Fair play to him.
That's very good. So Vegas, the two NRL games in Vegas, both pretty good, both a lot closer than Leeds and Hull KR were. One eye catcher I was going to make was BBC Sport did this video where they asked Mike McMeekin and then George Williams some questions, and they had to avoid saying the same thing. And it started off dead broad, and then it got narrower and narrower to when the last question was heads or tails, so you've just got a 50-50 chance then. So they lost on the last question. They were doing quite well. One of the reasons they lost, though, was because they asked, what do you eat for breakfast? And George Williams said avocado, which I thought was rogue enough, but, you know, he's an
Very
athlete.
bougie.
He's an athlete. Mike McMeekin, prop that he is, said beef hash for his breakfast.
That's your eye catcher. I would make his beef hash for breakfast.
That is an eye catcher. I caught my eye anyway. I saved it because I thought, I've got to talk about that. Mike McMeekin having beef hash for his breakfast. That can't be every day.
What do you reckon he has it with? You can't just have beef hash. Be with something.
It's such an effort to make beef hash for your breakfast, isn't it?
What are you doing? Beef hash.
We're going to have beef
It's
hash.
7:30, Mike. What are you doing?
He should have chips and a floating egg. Oh, I love that though from Mike McMeekin. The other thing I was going to mention, because you'll already know this, but Lewis, you don't follow cricket as much as we do. We have found a competition that shoots itself in the foot more than rugby league, which is the ICC World T20 competition, which this year has featured 4 groups of 5, the top 2 of each group going into then 2 groups of 4 for another round robin, then the top 2 of them going into a semi-final stage. But the interesting thing was, due to geopolitics getting involved, India refused to host any matches that Pakistan were involved in. So when Pakistan had a chance to qualify, that would mean if they did qualify, their game would be in Sri Lanka and get some money for the Sri Lankan Cricket Board. So to qualify, they had to beat Sri Lanka by so many runs. And so Sri Lanka were told, on no certain terms, lose by this many, because they were already out. You need to lose by this many so we get to host the game next week. So what happened was Sri Lanka were going for catches with their arms dead wide apart and not trying to get in front. So it was the most obvious, deliberate loss you've ever seen. And they even messed that up and didn't lose by enough runs. So Pakistan were also out. So that's just something that normally would happen in rugby league, something stupid that didn't happen in rugby league, happen in another sport. So they can laugh at
I
it.
do feel like rugby league's teetering at the moment, innit?
Something stupid.
It's been 3 rounds and nothing stupid's happened.
Well, apart from that robot. And that fella racing against pixels on a screen at St. Helens, that was pretty stupid.
That's tame that for rugby league, though.
And
Budgie's interview.
That was a bit weird.
That was a bit
But that was kind of a good news story still.
It was a good news story, but kind of something you wouldn't. I don't know. I just don't think you'd ever get it from a professional Premier League football or something.
I'm just imagining,
Just
Erling
saying.
Haaland.
I think you might say that.
Just saying, yeah.
If it credited that.
pornography.
I don't see why he wouldn't say that if he had done.
He just wouldn't.
He wouldn't say that he's beef hash for breakfast because he wouldn't. But yeah, you think there's some sort of scandal incoming?
I don't think scandal. I think we're due a Kensey or falling in a pothole, breaking his ankle.
Yeah.
Or
What about them lads going around Vegas in that giant shopping trolley? Yeah,
I just think we're due something where you turn around and go, only in rugby league.
Only rugby league would a former international get caught up in a cryptocurrency scam and scam one of his former teammates, £800,000.
I just want to ask something that's just come across my mind. Thinking of only in rugby league. Why did Bradford play at home in their away kit?
Apparently they used to do this back in the day to shift replicas in the club shop.
We're only 3 games in.
Never mind why did they wear their away kit. Why did they not turn the lights on in that homestand again? And why did Warrington? Turning the lights off when you score and doing a disco is one thing, but put the lights back on when you finish the disco and don't have the fans sitting in complete darkness.
Only in rugby league.
Honestly, I don't get it. What if there's an emergency? And you
comes on like a spotlight, like...
What if you need the toilet?
Theatre.
It's like in a plane. You have to put the light on above you so you can go to the toilet.
Oh, I'm just seeing that now. Like when we left Castleford and I used my phone so we could see.
Oh, that was bad. The world's steepest steps, and it's pitch black. We're coming out the shed end, which is all the ends at Castleford. And we've got a steward just with his phone torch. Yeah, good night.
I generally remember thinking I'll go into A&E tonight, me. I'm either taking someone.
Yeah, but you can't even claim because what are they going to pay you out with? I haven't got any money. Use it all on tar and black paint.
Yeah. Right, I think that wraps it up.
Got a voucher at the time for Mender Hose. If you're getting hose out, you'd get a voucher for having your hose mended.
Or Diggle
Do you reckon Bagatoris would come and see you at hospital?
Oh, yeah. He'd be up for that.
Cowboy hat.
Yeah, he'd be up for that, and you'd play a game of touch with him or something on the corridors of the hospital. He'd do that, wouldn't he, Bagger?
Oh, what a game we follow. What a game. Right, I think that wraps it up. We'll,
I know what the scandal's going to be. Someone's big screen's getting nicked.
I'm just visioning it like Phoenix now.
You had to go wearing overalls.
Oh. Come on, with remote.
Yeah, that's the truth.
I think that is the perfect place to leave this episode. Right, Matty, Lewis, thank you for coming on this week. And we'll be back next week with more rugby league news.